Mike,
Here we go, baby.
can you hear that music?
Hold on, I can't hear it yet. What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep it exactly to an hour today. Let's make that our goal.
Yeah, definitely.
What's going
Can
on,
you hear
everybody?
the music? No? All right, Mike, let me fix this real quickly.
Uh-huh. What it do, people of Talk.Crypto. This is your host, Noah and Mike, broadcasting to you live from the Central Space Station.
Let's get it.
This is your number one source for no nonsense, no filler, no chicken scratch, crypto news.
TDC is live. Let's go.
If you guys are ready, we want to see those claps, those fires, whatever you got. This is Talk.Crypto, blasting into hyperspace. Clap it up, clap it up. Today we're talking about those Bitcoin all-time highs, those BNB pullbacks, the ascension to new highs. Let's go, baby. Clap, clap, clap.
Let's get this room filled up. Let's get started. Exciting day today in the markets. Bitcoin hitting all-time highs.
Absolutely. Surpassing that level and just breaking out. We got a big candle on our hourly charts.
You know, Mike, I was listening to some other crypto shows on here before we got started. And you know what they're talking about? They're talking about XRP. Come on.
They're
Come
talking
on.
about nonsense.
Nonsense.
Get those XR creepers out of here. We don't deal with XR creepers. Go sneak in somebody else's bed, boy. We don't want you here. We don't want your central banking system. That's not what this is about. It's about decentralizing.
All right, let's get started here. Welcome to Talk.Crypto. My name is Noah. I'm your host along with Mike here, Alpha Chi. Mike, how you doing today? I know we're starting off a bit late than usual, but it's been an exciting morning in the markets, and you know it's Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs. Altcoins seem to be rising. The whole ocean seems to be rising, to be honest with you right now. And
well,
I know you've been
not everything, Noah, because we got BNB taking a huge pullback. We got Cake. A lot of the tokens in the Binance Smart Chain, except for one that we've mentioned before, have been pulling back quite a bit. So
you know, you mentioned that. I'm actually going to pull up DeFiStation.io, and if you're following us on your computer, I would pull that up as well. And just kind of look at, you know, we're talking about Binance Smart Chain. I want to see what kind of total value is locked up on the Binance Smart Chain. And this is a great resource to do that. So it's DeFiStation.io. And I'm seeing, Mike, that the total value locked up still is growing. I mean, we're looking at 33.4 billion right now. BakerySwap grew from yesterday. I mean, that was a tip that we were giving our listeners yesterday to take a look at BakerySwap. It's an NFT marketplace on the Binance Smart Chain. And I can see yesterday they were about $170 million locked up on their platform. Today,
that's right.
They increased by about 5% to about 185 million. You know, I thought they were going to hit 200 million last night. It didn't happen. But I still am bullish on BakerySwap and the NFT market on the Binance Smart Chain.
100%. And we just one of the guys on our team just started using BakerySwap, and I guess you have to pay in BNB. It's 0.01. Sometimes it messes with the gas fee, so definitely have to verify that. But BakerySwap is doing well because if people are uploading NFTs and they're giving those fees to BakerySwap, I think this thing is going to take off long term, Noah. That's my thesis.
You know, I noticed on BakerySwap, it's not necessarily that easy to buy BakerySwap at the moment, right? The token is Bake, and you can't just use your USD or USDT to buy it. You actually have to buy it with your BNB.
No, that's not true.
I didn't see it on Binance. I was looking for it on Binance.
I don't know, but I pulled up a trading view chart and it showed me Bake BUS. It's BUSD. You can't not tether.
BUSD.
Yes. Okay.
Right, not tether, but BUSD. You can buy it. I didn't have any BUSD
maybe that's,
coins.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you're having trouble finding it, because it trades in BNB and BUSD pairs. So there's no USD. There's no tether pairing. So that's what it seems like.
So yesterday I actually went on my Binance account and I swapped some BNB for some Bake. And, you know, as we're saying, Bake is the native token to BakerySwap, which is the NFT marketplace on the Binance Smart Chain. And then I went on to BakerySwap and I staked my Bake. Now, that yield, that interest on staking my Bake wasn't very high. I mean, we've seen much higher yields, much higher interest rates in the whole platform. But why then, Mike, do you recommend staking Bake if the yield is actually way more conservative than other platforms?
You're saying, why do I recommend staking Bake?
Yeah.
Or owning it?
Owning it and staking it.
Look, you know, Bake is used for all of the NFT transactions. So if the transaction volume picks up of these NFTs, and you can go on BakerySwap.org, they're followed by CZ Binance. So you know, the CEO of Binance is very well aware of BakerySwap, and they've been putting out ads on DeFi Station. I've been watching them, but no, I just haven't really jumped in it because the TVL hasn't moved up. It was pretty much stuck at like 150. You can even look at the chart. It was stuck at 150 for a long time. So I was like, you know, like not really. I see what's going on here. Money Team, one of our listeners, had turned me on to it. And I'm like, yeah, I see what's going on here, but I don't see the actual movement. And we always look for that. We're not interested in things that aren't moving. So, you know, once, you know, I saw BakerySwap has started moving a little bit and broke out of, you know, its consolidation, I was a buyer.
Action, or are you talking about the total value locked up on the platform?
The total value locked up, like we were talking about that starting to go up, and for that reason, I was like, okay, well, I'm a buyer. I literally cashed out of all my other farms. And like, okay, if there is one of these DeFi sites on Binance Smart Chain that has the most potential and is the most undervalued, I think it's definitely BakerySwap. And I think Money Team was like right on point. And we've done shows with them before. Once I did do one show with them. Maybe we'll have to get them on again. Clap it up, guys, if you want to hear from Money Team, MM Team. Some of you in the stereo community may know him. He's the Money Team. Making money team.
Yeah, he's definitely straight up with his advice, and he definitely takes a point of view on a lot of projects, and sometimes he's on earlier than us.
That's right.
So, but you know, going back on BakerySwap, I've noticed that the price, you know, we see the total value locked up, which means the amount of money on that platform is increasing, but the price is decreasing since yesterday. Do you see that on? I'm trying to pull up the price of Bake right now, just to take a look at it and see where we are. And I think that, you know, well, the price is about $2.03 per Bake. So, you know, the 24 high was actually $2.26. So, you know, we're a bit down from its high. And Oh, I mean,
Well, look,
what do you
look,
think?
Noah. You were talking about this yesterday about taking profits on BNB, and I guess I missed the fact that it completely went parabolic. And we know that there's sort of the laws of nature, right? The faster that something goes up, the faster that people exit it because everybody tries to start taking profit at once because it's going
Yeah.
so high, and everybody's on the race to take profit, right? So, especially with those sharp moves. So, I mean, look, you were spot on yesterday on our show talking about taking profit in BNB. And I followed suit today at about, I think, 560, 570 in that area. I took profit on BNB. I also sold some of my Pancake Bunny. As much as I want to stack that, I do think that there's going to be an opportunity to purchase more. We've seen a 3x of Pancake Bunny in the past, 2 to 3 weeks, I think, right? I mean, it was in the 150 to 200 range.
If I understand what you're saying is that the drop in price in BNB. Now, I mean, let's be realistic here. BNB is exploding, and it was a small pullback, a small consolidation. But you think that has a direct effect on the native tokens on the BSC blockchain? So if BNB pulls back, Bake may be affected.
I personally do think that it matters, and because look, if people are selling their BNB, they're actually taking it off of these platforms, and sometimes people have like BNB and Cake in liquidity pools, for example, and they might pull out of the liquidity pool and sell their BNB, and maybe they take profit on Cake too because they've been holding Cake for a long time.
Right.
I don't see that being a crazy notion. I mean, we could check on DeFi Station to see if that actually followed suit.
I'd like to see if that follows suits with if that's the same with Pancake Swap and Pancake Bunny, other applications on top of the Binance Smart Chain. If they actually, when BNB moves, does that affect these other projects on their blockchain? I believe it makes sense that it would.
I do. And I actually, DeFi debauchery that's in the Binance Smart Chain community.
Yeah. And you have a Discord community too. You have a couple of links there. But anyway, go on.
Well, I don't think he's in our Discord. But anyways, he was saying that the reason these platform tokens dump a lot of times is because people are taking profit on BNB. So that's why. I mean, I didn't think about it before, but I exited all my platform tokens that were just pure yield farming because I believe people are taking profit on BNB. And
so you exit.
Look, you gotta also save your BNB too.
You exited BF Finance. You exited Pancakes Money. You exited Auto Farm.
No. I took like 20-30% out and converted it to Bake because it's like, why? Okay, well, if something's overvalued, it's like trimming your trees in your backyard. You trim your trees when the branches grow too big, and then you start planting. You take that whatever you get. I mean, look, I just listen to smart people. That's all, and I just follow those people. But trimming the trees, and then you take what you get from that, and then you go and you buy the thing that you think is undervalued within reason. Don't don't take all your money from something that's doing well and put it in something that's hasn't performed as well. But I took 20% off the top. We talk on the show about taking 20% off the top, and then just go and reinvest that into something else that is already moving. Look, BakerySwap was already moving, already had that big movement, and I thought, this is just the start because number one, I put my 1-inch tokens on BakerySwap to get that NFT and the 1-inch NFT, and then I also bought more Bake too because I was like, okay, 1-inch BakerySwap partnership, that's huge, and also I've seen 1-inch. I'm starting to see 1-inch everywhere. It's just popping up, and we talked about how they're going to be on Coinbase and that. In the near future. So yeah, I mean, that having that partnership was big. And then that in combination with me seeing that they had more transactions than OpenSea. If you guys don't know OpenSea, OpenSea is the biggest NFT marketplace, and it sits on Ethereum. So, or like I think that's how people transact with Ethereum. I haven't seen really NFTs be traded with anything else because of course it's on the blockchain right now.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still on my DeFiStation.io website here, and I'm looking at all the projects that are on the Binance Smart Chain. And I know you're saying that with Pancake Bunny, you trimming your trees, you took a little off the top, you see that's exploding. It's done very well over the past month, and now you're looking to take some profits out of it. But Mike, I would push back on you, and I would just say that even Pancake Bunny, with a total value locked up of nearly $2.5 billion, still may be undervalued. And the reason why I say that is because Binance Smart Chain as a whole is undervalued.
Right.
And right. I think we're only going to see more and more people start coming to the Binance Smart Chain, leaving Ethereum, or maybe even their first experience on a blockchain platform will be Binance Smart Chain. I can see that happening, and more applications are going to be built on this on top of this blockchain. That's going to, like I said, increase the total value locked up for the entire blockchain as a whole, but also for these independent applications that are built on top of it. So, I mean, I'm still for full disclosure, Mike. I haven't pulled any money out of Pancake Bunny.
Right.
I'm still,
I mean, look. The reason that I took so little, Noah, was because that I still think Pancake Bunny has a long room to run. Long. Right. I mean, because look, this is a governance token, and the community is active on there. Obviously, they've been doing very well in securing people consistent APY on a appreciating token. I mean, everything just speaks for itself with Pancake Bunny. I don't need to say anything. It's the fact that it's 3x'd and people are going and staking their cake there. It does right? Like that's the only thing that matters. And people are getting paid out in Bunny. Of course, there's the withdrawal fees too. So like all the money moving around through Pancake Bunny, the token is doing really well, and people are buying the token and staking it. That's all that we need to see.
I want to, staying on this whole DeFi space that we're talking about right now. And if you're just joining us, definitely, if you have questions about decentralized finance, send us a voice note. We're happy to break it down for you. I just want to continue on this whole DeFi discussion we're having. We just released a video this morning on Blizzard.money, which is another platform built on Binance Smart Chain that you can go and partake in yield farms. They have caves, they have cross-platform yield farming as well, opportunities. And,
right.
Maybe you can explain a little bit about Blizzard Money, and then our listeners can go watch the video if they are interested in learning more. I see here, I just pulled up their website. It's called Blizzard.money. They have about 70 million in total value locked up on their platform, and their market cap is 15 million at the moment. So yeah, if you want to tell us a little about Blizzard.money and what you thought about after doing your review of their platform.
Right. So I currently do not own any Blizzard Money. And the reason is that in the short term, I mean, because there's so many opportunities in this space, and I just haven't seen them do enough to encourage people to come stake their token on the platform and actually hold the token. I've seen other protocols, other projects. What they do is they punish people that withdraw early, and that incentivizes people to like hold on. And then, like something like that would work really, really well. And I sent that to the devs on their Telegram. Obviously, they're working on other stuff. Now, what I'm going to say about this project, Noah, is I think it's a good project. What I'm disappointed with is that you don't really, it's just like, how Pancake Bunny, you just go on Pancake Bunny and you just like go and like put your money in there and you don't really see anything. It does a lot of stuff for you. And the more I learn about this yield farming stuff, the more I realize like it requires somebody being really good to write these sort of contracts, because they're actually, Noah, they're actually strategies. It's not like there's just money sitting in a pool and it just comes through in swaps. No, there's like strategies that are implemented. And
can you explain like what a yield farming strategy would be?
Okay, so Blizzard Monies is very interesting. They just released a V2, and in this V2, they I mean, basically what they do is they go and they take part in other people's pools. So there's going to be pools on other websites. This is what makes these projects interesting, right? So there's a Blizzard pool on Beefy, right?
Right, on Beefy Finance.
Right, on Beefy. And what they do is they say, okay, well, if the one that's on Beefy is the best one, is going to give the best yield or return, we'll go stick the funds in that, right? And get that APY. And what they do is they take some of that yield and they convert it to BNB, and then the BNB is used to go and buy up the Blizzard. So like on paper, what they have is very interesting. What happened with the project, and this is for you just as much for listeners, is that when they announced their V2, I think that people were skeptical of them being able to release this. And of course, they were like, okay, well, they're going to release this new version. They're going to do a migration, and migrations are risky, right? So the market basically, when they came out and said, we're going to do a migration and a token swap, the market said, nope. And then they just dumped the token, dumped from like $57 down to 40. And that's just kind of continued down to, it's probably like at 20 something right now.
Which is why it's very risky to hold the native tokens.
It's risky. And when it starts going south, you need to exit, because there's a lot more risk than there is reward at the end of the day. So when it starts going south, like you need to exit. Like that's just my opinion, So with that said, they're doing interesting things, Noah, but on the front end, you don't really see that as the user. So like as a user, you don't know the difference between Blizzard Money and Beefy or some other platform, right?
Platform, yeah.
You don't. So even if they have the most genius way to keep people, or to keep the token value up, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because if people aren't incentivized to hold it, like I literally think that if they implemented an early withdrawal, maybe that would prevent people from coming in. But again, if the returns are good enough, I think people will do it. Now, there is a deposit fee, so you pay a deposit fee, and just for whatever reason, they just haven't gotten the TVL. So that's why I say that TVL is the most important thing, because there's like pairs like Blizzard BNB. So if people are buying, if people want to go and stake in that pool. Yeah.
Hold on, Mike. If you're just tuning in, I just want to explain what we're talking about here. We're talking about this is like layer 2 financing here. This is putting your token to work and having them work for you. So you've bought BNB, you bought Binance, you bought Bitcoin, whatever tokens you've purchased that are sitting in your wallet or your exchange portfolio. And then we're saying, listen, you can put those coins to work for you. You can actually plant those coins on another platform. It's called farming, and earn interest by doing that. You can still hold the value that you have in that token, and if that token happens to increase in value, you will partake in the increase in that value. Same if it decreases in value. But at the same time, you'll earn an interest rate for staking your token on this platform. And we've done a few platform reviews, all in our YouTube. We're talking today about Blizzard.money, which is a video we just released on Mike's review of their platform. They're fairly small compared to some of the other platforms like Pancake Bunny and that we have reviewed in the past.
Right.
One of the unique things about Blizzard Money that I found interesting was that you can actually stake your Bitcoin, and you can actually earn. Now those are limited pools, right? That we were talking about. and actually it's not
Oh,
available now.
you mean to stake your Blizzard and get Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So wait, hold
the
on.
AP
Usually
just
you take a token and you earn the platform token and interest, and then you take that platform token and you swap it for whatever, BNB or Bitcoin. But what Blizzard Money did unique was that they allowed you to stake a token and earn Bitcoin. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
unique
think
for that.
that's really. I don't think I haven't seen any other platform do that. So that was why I became a fan of the project. But of course, I changed my mind once. Look, their migration was a little bit messy. You had the web at that time, for whatever reason, like the Binance Smart Chain was being really slow. I think they just got kind of unlucky, and people were having issues. Nothing big from. I didn't see any big issues, but like people just had their funds stuck on the old
Right.
website, and they were trying to like move them out. So
Now, what is the risk in
yeah.
staking? What's the risk in staking?
What's the risk in staking? Well, it's on another website. Just like, look, I think it's more risky than a centralized exchange because you can't, like, it's
Especially
not your website.
Yeah. So there could be rug pulls, which means that, the website goes black and all the money that's locked up on there disappears. That's happened in the past. And there's a lot of new yield farming platforms out there that are popping up because this is kind of like we're in the wild, wild west of yield farming at the moment.
Right.
And so finding the right platform, takes a lot of work and takes research. And that's exactly what you've been doing, using these videos to review these platforms, go through their security audits, look at their tokenomics, and see which one is worth us actually putting our money into. And,
Yes.
we've worked on a few of them, and we've pulled money from a few of them too. We've done
Right.
So I mean, it's all about trial and error, I think, in this whole layer 2 financing yield farming world. And
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
It's
Go ahead.
We try to jump on stuff as it just is starting to get hot. Like we just
Right.
just as BakerySwap started to move, we just jump on it. And Noah has completely different risk tolerance and things that he likes to see. So like he's not always gonna do the same thing that I would, but I think you've kind of grown. I mean, I really didn't spend that much time trying to like say, hey, you should look at BakerySwap, right? I just like told you like, hey, they have more transactions than OpenSea, and that convinced me, and they had a partnership with 1inch.
Mike, you have great research and you have great ideas, but the most important thing we can tell our listeners is that if you hear something from Mike, if you hear something from me, that's just the beginning. You have to do your own research before you start putting your money into these platforms, because
That's right.
It's risky, right? This is not
That's right.
This is a risky market that we're playing in. It's good, but it's just risky, and you have to be able to say, you have to be at the end of the day, be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, this was my decision. I decided to put money in the platform, not because Mike from Talk.Crypto told me.
Yeah, exactly. Because look, everybody has different risk tolerances, and the like dollar amounts and how much research you've done, and like that's all gonna like everybody's gonna have a different level of research, but I got a couple different standards. One of them is Noah, and I think I think the space, the security audit space, that's got to be in there. I got to see a security audit.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want it. It's more just because even if I don't lose my funds, the token will plunge because of the lack of trust in the platform. So, for that reason, I got to see a security audit. Like that's a must.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is layer 2 financing. We're talking about decentralized finance, and we have a new video that just came out on YouTube on Blizzard.money. check it out. I'm not telling you should necessarily put your money on their platform, but you should become familiar with these platforms and understand what decentralized finance is and how you can actually benefit from it. Mike, a thing that I get a lot of questions about that I wanted to cover in our discussion today, and I know that, you know, the big news is Bitcoin, and we really should cover Bitcoin. It just hit 63,000, which is awesome, and I'm expecting it to keep rising. I'm looking at like an $80,000 Bitcoin this week, maybe more, but you know, that's not what I want to get into at the moment. What I want to get into at the moment is wallets. I know you've done some work on some wallets recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ready to talk about some of the wallets that I've been exploring just yet. I'll talk about one of them, and I'm ready to talk about Math. It's called Math Wallet, and I think this token is on. Oh my God, dude! TVL is climbing on Binance Smart Chain. We're up to 30. We were talking yesterday, 31 billion. We're up to 33 billion on Binance Smart Chain. Huge. And I want to check on. Okay, so I want to check on. Do you want to check TVL of any specific platform and see where that's at?
You know, one thing I wasn't able to see on DeFi was the Blizzard money. I mean, I found out their TVL
DeFi Station. Website, but, yeah.
But I wasn't able to find it I wasn't able to see it on DeFi Station.
You know what? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure the reason for that. I see Swamp Finance. So Swamp Finance is in the same group as Blizzard Money, and they just got listed within the past couple of days. So I'm seeing them on there. I do, and Swamp has 120 million. So I do think that you're going to see Blizzard on there soon. It's on the back end. Like on the back end, Noah, I believe it's a good project, but the problem is like the users don't see that, and they need to do more on the front end. And incentivizing people to hold the token. That's my analysis for that project.
And you're right. And actually, I was talking to one of our listeners yesterday about this. You know, how do we place value to these tokens, right? And it's all about supply and demand. It's all about the utilization of these tokens. Are they being utilized? Is the community holding these tokens, right? And then, you know, take Bitcoin, for example. When we start to see on-chain data, you know, when we start to see people start removing Bitcoin from the exchanges and putting them in cold storage, that's a good sign. That's a good sign for Bitcoin, right? It means that the supply on the exchange is lowered and the price is going to go up. And we can see the same with these native tokens. The more these native tokens are used and held, the more value they have. And that's why I'm bullish on BakerySwap at the moment, because I think people are going to need to start holding their native token Bake, because it's in the NFT marketplace. And as we know, that NFT marketplace is just exploding. People want to get into the marketplace. And in order for them to do it on the Binance Smart Chain, they're going to have to hold some Bake in their wallet. So, you know, exactly what you were saying, you know, we need people to hold these native tokens if we want to see the price increase on them. It's an important aspect of this whole economics and understanding value of a native token. So
yes,
yeah, I mean, let's take a step back and let's get away from DeFi at the moment, because DeFi can get a little confusing if you're a beginner and you're just figuring out how to necessarily onboard and what tokens to buy. Right.
And you know, we have some of those videos on our YouTube channel. You can absolutely go and check that out. We really think that PancakeSwap and Pancake Bunny are the sort of leaders in doing this DeFi yield farming stuff and getting that APY. You know, no, I was just telling my mom this morning about, you know, buying like a stable coin and then getting some APY on that, like, for example, Venus or Compound. And, you know, I was like, Mom, like, just take $20, $30 and go and put it on this platform and see what happens. You know,
that's interesting, right? What you're saying right now is you're like, take a stable coin that's typically pegged to like the US dollar. So it shouldn't really move much in value, and just get that interest rate, almost like you would if you gave it to like a bank and they promised you an interest rate. But these interest rates are much higher than what you would do in traditional finance. and
Right.
your value shouldn't change much. It shouldn't fluctuate based on the market, because that's a stable coin. It's supposed to be stable in
Right.
value. So yeah, it's interesting, and you're just earning that's simple interest. We got a call from Raul, one of our first longtime participants in our Discord and one of our listeners here on Stereo. Raul, what's on your mind?
Okay, so my question is, let's say I take my Bitcoin off, I put it in cold storage, and now I'm going to Mars. Now I end up in Mars. Is my coin still valuable in Mars itself, or do I have to develop a blockchain network on Mars parallel to the one on Earth, or have it connected? Because the distance between Earth and Mars, it's pretty long for a blockchain network to be communicating with each other. So is my Bitcoin still usable in Mars?
Now, this sounds like a theoretical question, but Raul actually does live on Mars. No. Mike, what are your thoughts on this? Like, can the network extend past?
Actually, the answer is yes. I don't know if that was like a planned question or something, but actually the answer is yes. And the reason is that you can set up your own private Bitcoin network to process transactions, and you could have your Bitcoin on cold storage. So yes, you could do that. You could set up your own Bitcoin network to process transactions. It would, of course, have a different transaction history than what we know as the Bitcoin network. Right. So there's that difference.
Interesting. Our Discord is actually doing extremely well. We're blowing up. We're about to pass 100 participants. And what's key in our Discord is that we are really attracting the right people, right? People who are active on a daily basis, who are trading, who are thirsty for more information. And it just keeps growing. So Mike and I spoke yesterday about, creating a premium section in our Discord for those who want to day trade with us. Is that something you're open to doing, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, we had Joe kind of running the show before, but yeah, certainly, I think you'd be the better candidate because you've been, using a lot of the signals and the premium channels that we're subscribed to make trades. I haven't been doing that as much. I've more just been doing research on newer projects, and I think from that perspective, Noah, it's been a pretty good sort of partnership that we've had because you're going and doing the active trading side of things, and I'm doing more on the research.
Right. I mean, one thing that you're doing, which I think is awesome, is you are finding some of the new projects out there in this space and getting us in early. Now, it's risky, right? We're not putting a ton of money in these new projects to begin with. But if you want to find out what the next ICO is, initial coin offering, if you want to find out what the next project may be, either on, say, the Binance Smart Chain or even other blockchains that we're starting to get more familiar with, Mike is doing that research. I don't know, Mike, how many hours a day are you spending doing this research? I've easily...
I mean, literally whatever time I have. I'm not joking. Whatever time I have at my computer, I am locked in doing research. We have a lot of good resources at our disposal. And I found easily 10 plus ICOs that I'm interested in. And I'm going to be jumping in on. Look, this is a historical time. There's a lot of projects, Noah, that I'm finding are doing, token sales in that or something, for people that are early they're launching their project and they've been working on their project for like 5 years.
And they're giving incentives for people.
And that it's kind of by accident that I've stumbled on these projects. But look, the projects that have been around for 5 or 6 years and being worked on, those are the best projects in this space, not the ones that are just last minute deciding, oh, now we want to start this. It's unbelievable.
So if you want to get access to Mike's research, I mean, Mike gives his research out for free in our general tab in in Discord. But eventually, some of these new projects that he's spending a lot of his time on and doing his own analysis on, we're going to put that in a premium section because, we're spending a lot of time on this research, and we really want the.
I think it's also just the fact that you have to put some skin in the game to really get something out of this space. Whether, like I said, it's your time or you're learning the smart contracts and how they work on the back end or whatever. Like, you really have to get deep in this space. And if people are deep in this space, I know that they'll be willing to, do a value exchange for the research that both Noah and I have been doing. So I'm very confident that the value is there. If the value wasn't there, I'd be a little more concerned, but I am not in any way concerned about doing a value exchange with people.
Yeah, and it's a great point there. We aren't trying to necessarily make money for nothing, right? We're putting a lot of time into this, and like you said, if we're providing value, then if you want to,
we should get value. We should get value in return. I mean, that's how pretty much everything works in the world. And for example, if you go on AIOZ, and you watch videos, advertisements, you spend your time, you get paid for watching the videos. So obviously we're getting to these models where there's incentive for everybody to participate.
Right. So definitely, if you're listening, keep an eye out for that. There's going to be new sections in our Discord that are premium sections. And we also are bringing on new team members to do some more videos, some beginner videos. And, I want to throw this out there to any of our listeners. If you are interested in being part of the Talk.Crypto team and you want to, make some videos and for beginners or even advanced, if you're advanced in the space like Mike is, reach out to us. We are going to put the best of what we can find out there and really build this whole Talk.Crypto space up. And it's growing. I mean, we see it growing with our numbers, and we see some people who are interested in kind of joining our team. Our team has grown from just Mike and I to now we have about 4, almost 5 people on the team. And, we haven't monetized anything yet on our platform outside of like AIs. And so it's the beginning. We're just in the beginning stages of this, and it's going well. I'm excited to see what the future holds for Talk.Crypto, to be honest. Mike, Larry, Draw.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah. Let's go to Mike, Larry, Draw.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I recently stumbled upon a gas map that basically tells you the best time to utilize Ether when no one else is using it. I wanted to know if you guys knew about the gas map.
No, but I am looking for something like that right now because, look, if you want to squeeze everything you can out of your transactions, something like that is absolutely necessary. So I'm Googling that right now to see if I can actually locate that.
Yeah, and Mike, Larry, Draw, please put that link on the Discord because there's a lot of people who would be interested in seeing that. And timing when you do your transactions, especially in Ethereum, is key because those transaction rates fluctuate. I mean, I've gotten hit with some really high transaction rates on Ethereum. And if I would have just, waited, if the congestion would have been less, maybe I could have saved an extra $10 on that simple transaction. And, those transaction fees add up. They definitely add up, especially on Ethereum.
Right. And I think I located it, Mike. It's called gitcoin.co/gas/heatmap. And I'm going to look here to see if I can, let's see, click on this heat map. Less gas, more gas.
And since we're talking about it.
Yeah. I don't know if you're pulling up right now.
I just wanted to talk about Ethereum and how well it's been doing. I mean, it's going to hit 2,300. It's been on a climb. It's been on a serious climb since
that's right.
April 12th. I mean, you could have put money in this anytime from April 12th and been in the green. Now, I mean, we are in a period right now with Ethereum where we're in price discovery mode. We don't know where the top is. We don't know. I mean, maybe the support line is around 22,000 right now. 22,000 is where I see the last consolidation period. But I mean, we are in a free climb right now. We're trying to figure out where that price action is with Ethereum, and I would argue that we're going to see similar with BNB.
Yeah.
Because so many different applications now coming to the Binance Smart Chain, it only makes sense to me that we're going to see BNB continue to rise and see a similar pattern to that of Ethereum. So yeah, I mean, Ethereum, I wouldn't say now is the best time to buy, but I don't know where this is going, Mike. I mean, I can definitely see a $2,500 Bitcoin in the new $2,500 Ethereum in the near future, but I'm also concerned about a serious consolidation here, especially when ETH 2.0 is released. Raul, what's up?
Yes, that's okay. That's cool because, well, I live on an island, and if the rest of the world were to burn down, and I would have to take my Bitcoin into cold storage and restart the network here on this island, which is already financially isolated from the rest of the world through central banking. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's 100% true.
And one of the amazing things about this space, right, is we've said this a long time, is that this whole distributed democratizing finance is like an equal playing field for these small islands out there who their economies have struggled. They haven't really been part of the global economy. And now they have a chance to be tied into the whole global economy. I think that's just such a new space that all these governments actually are still kind of slow to adopt. And Raul, maybe you can tell us a little bit about anything you've seen that the St. Martin government has been doing to introduce this new technology. But I haven't really seen it much. A lot of these governments are afraid of getting involved in this too much. So but I think that's all going to be changed eventually, because there's no escaping decentralized finance and this whole decentralized model as we continue to push forward in it. I just want to say this one thing on Ethereum, Mike. So just in case you're holding Ethereum, I'm looking at our indicators, and even though we are in a bull cycle, it looks like it's getting overheated. Right?
Yeah, I mean, look, we saw this with BNB just this morning that BNB started pulling back. I want to say about 10% dropped from 600 to down to 550. Maybe it's down to 540. I don't know if it kept going, but quite a big pullback of 10%. And I did take some profit just in case, because you just don't know what kind of traders are active in these markets.
Yeah. So if you're trading Ethereum, I mean, now might not be a bad time to take some profits as we are reaching an overheated. We might enter into a slight bear market in the short run. We did a similar thing. I'm looking at patterns, right? So, Mike, when I'm making my analysis here, I'm taking a look at our indicators, seeing what they say, but then I'm also going back and looking at what happened in the past when we were in this situation. So. Right. I'm seeing in April 12th, we similarly got overheated. We became into an overbought position, and we entered a slight bear market. Right? It dropped. The price dropped of Ethereum on April 12th from. I'll tell you what the exact percentage was here. Get my tools out. We were looking at. Come on here. Price of anywhere, it was at $21.99, and then it dropped to $21.04, which was about a 5% drop, and then it continued to climb again. But basically this happened when we got overheated, when the market became when too many people purchased and there wasn't enough sellers on the market. I'm sorry, when too many people sold and there weren't enough buyers to maintain that price, we saw that drop. We saw that price consolidation. So, right now Ethereum looks in a similar pattern as it was a month ago. No, I'm sorry, a day ago on April 12th. So I would
Right.
just be concerned there if you're looking to take a position in Ethereum that right now might not be the best time. And if you're looking to take some profits in Ethereum, right now may be a good time. And we said this yesterday with BNB, and same thing happened with BNB. The market got overheated. We saw a consolidation, a pullback. So if you had taken profits when we had recommended, you probably would have been in the green. Back to Raul from St. Martin. Raul, what's up?
Well, I think not the island that I live on specifically, but I believe the northeastern islands or the eastern islands have just developed their own digital currency. Well, it's not centralized, so it's issued by their central bank. One of the main problems with the island that I live on is, on an ordinary circumstances, I wouldn't be able to take my money out of the crypto market and transfer it back to fiat. Now, I found a loophole for that, but I'm pretty sure that this isn't really possible on many of the other islands.
That's interesting, Mike. Being able to transfer your crypto to fiat, right? That was one of the top concerns that I get. It's one of the top concerns I get from everybody. Like, okay, I have Bitcoin now. How do I transfer it to my US dollar? And it's actually easier now than ever to do it. You can do it right on all these exchanges. You can do it directly on a wallet. But I still see that in some emerging markets like these Caribbean islands, they are still facing these initial difficulties of understanding how to onboard and offboard your fiat currency. So, Mike, tell us, what are you doing right now?
Chilling, man. Just chilling.
I know you're on your computer searching something.
No, I was just looking at our Discord. There's Binance today is having a NFT Tuesdays event. So I'd be really interested to, skip through that video recording and see, what they mention about BakerySwap, right? Of course, they're a growing platform, and they've done presentations on other platforms. So I'd be curious if they're going to cover BakerySwap, because I definitely want to learn more about it. I also see that Bitcoin is at 63.3 right now. So I bought some this morning. I was waiting for a dip. Nope, the dip didn't come. This thing is taking off.
I had a question this morning from one of our Discord members saying, when is the best, when will Bitcoin dip again, and when should I buy? And I told everyone on our Discord, when Bitcoin hit 55,000, buy the dip. And everyone thought I was crazy to say 55,000 was the dip. But now, when the recommendation I gave to our listener was, you might have to wait till Bitcoin dips to 59,000 now to buy the dip. And, that's likely, right? We can see a consolidation. And I would say our support line is probably around the $59,000, $60,000 mark right now. We don't really have a resistance line at the top. I mean, I'm not sure. Did we pass that top line of the Fibonacci scale? I'm not sure. I'd like to check that out. Andrew Hunt, what's up?
Afternoon, gentlemen. How are you guys? Hope you're all making money. Good money. I see your favourite coins. He's doing quite well.
Yeah, man.
What is he talking about? Is he talking about Bitcoin? Talking about some other coin?
Tell us, Andrew, what are you talking about? What coin specifically? I know with you, we've actually invested in a few coins like Win and Vet, VeChain, and we've done well on all of those actually. And I have to warn everyone that, we're in a rising tide right now in this market. So
that's right.
You can, I don't want to say you can put your money anywhere and make money, but you can put your money anywhere and you'll probably get a nice bump because
yes and no. I mean, you do need to look for actual movement. There are things that are pulling back. I think a lot of small cap tokens are pulling back. Just my analysis.
Right.
I mean, I think that everybody is cashing out on everything else and just throwing it in Bitcoin, because that is if there is a world reserve currency in crypto, it is Bitcoin.
Absolutely. And I ask people all the time. People ask me, what what's a real price point for Bitcoin, right? And I asked them, well, compare Bitcoin to gold for me. Where do you see, is Bitcoin, and I have this conversation literally every day with people. I say, look, if gold is worth 10 to 11 trillion, and you're telling me that Bitcoin is the gold standard for crypto, right? It's a store of value. Where do you place the value of Bitcoin? Is it at a third of what gold is valued at? Is it at 50% of what gold is valued at? And most people come back to me and they say, well, in my novice analytics and my novice analysis, I would say Bitcoin should be worth about a third of what gold is. I say, okay, good. Bitcoin's worth about a third of what gold is. Then you're valuing Bitcoin at a $3 trillion valuation. Bitcoin today is valued at $1 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the price of Bitcoin has anywhere from $120,000 to $180,000 to grow.
Right.
And that's a big deal. And basically, sometimes when you get this analysis from novices, from people who haven't really studied this very much, they give you some of the real hard truth. And if they're telling me that they see, and I'm telling you, Mike, I ask this question all the time, and 30% is usually what I get, the answer about where Bitcoin is compared to gold. If you see that the general marketplace is valuing Bitcoin at a third of what they value the gold market as, well, Bitcoin's a good investment then. Bitcoin is undervalued. We got a lot of callers here. Let me get to some of them. Crypto philosopher, love your name. We consider ourselves philosophers as well in this space. What's up? What's on your mind?
Hey guys, thanks for sharing your thoughts. First time listener of the channel and new to Stereo. Just wanted to know, with the all-time highs being reached today, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin, and where do you see it going in the very short term? Do you think we're headed for a correction, or do you think that the sky is the limit from here?
Yeah, it's a good question. Mike and I may have different thoughts on this, actually. We have all been expecting a pullback in Bitcoin, to be honest. We've all been expecting a consolidation period of about 30 to 50% pullback. And I've been keeping cash on the side to buy that dip. In my portfolio, I keep around 30%. And to be honest, when Bitcoin was struggling to pass 60,000, I was kind of piling up on cash, hoping that the dip would come so that I could buy that up, right? Because I look at dips as opportunity zones. So, where do I see Bitcoin growing? Like what I just was saying, I think Bitcoin has the potential to reach $180,000 by the end of the year. Now, is that going to happen the end of this month? I don't know. But I think we might see an $80,000 Bitcoin at the end of this month, followed by a pullback next month. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we're seeing this. We're starting to see the beginning, of that sort of blow off top, where we just start taking off to the sky. I mean, look at the rise in Bitcoin of just this morning from 62K up to 63, and just it looks more parabolic. So I think we're starting to see the makings of that blow off top, where it's basically just like a volcano, and it shoots up really quickly, but then it also comes down really quickly as well. That's my analysis.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely dead on. I think we're going to see it come down really quickly once we pass $75,000, $80,000 Bitcoin, and that correction may be down to the 40,000 mark. I think that's really possible. Crypto philosopher, what do you think?
So thanks for that. I agree with most of what you've said. I also am expecting some kind of dip, and I have some cash on the side to buy back if it does go down considerably. So just wondering, have you guys heard of the Pi cycle indicator? And if so, do you give any credence to it? Very interesting times right now, and we could go up or down.
Yeah, completely agree. The Pi cycle indicator, we do watch that. I mean, we are heavy on technical analysis, to be quite honest with you. You can join our Discord channel. It's free right now, and we put all of our research in there, and we actually group research from other analysis that we like, that we respect, and we think that we follow. I consider myself a student of this one guy called Mr. Masa. I watch his videos religiously. Highly recommend them. But yeah, I mean, look, the Pi cycle top, we hit it twice, and we were supposed to see a consolidation yesterday, a drop, and it didn't happen. And why didn't it happen? I think it didn't happen for a couple reasons. I think that there's so much speculation right now in this market with the whole Coinbase direct listing on the NASDAQ coming out tomorrow, that it's introducing cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to the American market, and it's only going to get adopt increase further adoption and bring more money into this market. So I think if Coinbase falls flat tomorrow, then I think we're going to see Bitcoin drop. But if Coinbase does what I think it's going to do, which is going to generate a lot of new excitement in this space, then I think Bitcoin continues to rise until we hit around 80,000, and then we see that consolidation. I think a lot depends on this whole Coinbase direct listing tomorrow. I know, Mike, you've had different thoughts than me on that. You haven't been as bullish as what I call the Coinbase effect. But what are your thoughts?
Look, I understand it, but there's definitely, like Sushi Swap, for example, that hasn't really followed that trend.
Right.
Look, I think BNB is moving because of Binance Smart Chain, and people are buying BNB like it's ETH. I think it's really that simple. And I also think that there's obviously, there's speculators too. They're driving the momentum as well. But I do think, honestly, that the initial momentum came from people starting to move to Binance Smart Chain, lock up their funds there. We're seeing the amount locked up on BNB is starting to go parabolic. And
Mike, you're talking about BNB, and BNB actually benefits from having such a wide reach in this industry, right? Because Binance can be compared to Coinbase, but what you're talking about isn't Binance's exchange. What you're talking about is Binance's blockchain, which is just exploding as well. So when you say that you compare Binance to ETH, when you compare BNB to ETH, you're not saying, hey, I'm interested in buying Binance because they have a great exchange. You're saying I'm interested in buying Binance because they have an exploding marketplace on their Binance Smart Chain. It's two different products in the whole Binance family, and which is one reason why we think Binance and BNB Coin has a lot of room to grow, because if you want to compare them to Coinbase, well, they actually have more value locked up than Coinbase does. They have higher liquidity. They're higher searched online than Coinbase, right? More active users than Coinbase. And if you want to talk about Binance as a blockchain, right, they have lower transaction fees than Ethereum. They have some great applications on their platform. They even have forks. There are applications on Ethereum that are forked to be put on the Binance chain.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Crypto philosopher, keep it going, man. I like talking to you. What's on your mind?
Another question for you guys, because a lot of the chat at the beginning was around NFTs and your enthusiasm for NFTs. Have you guys heard of Theta or Theta? Depending on if you're American or British, you may pronounce it differently, but THETA. And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I don't, Mike, I don't mean to talk over you here on this, but we have covered Theta before, and what's so important about Theta is that it is a content delivery network. It's a decentralized content delivery network, and these content delivery networks are just going to continue to explode as we continue to grow in this industry. It's a much needed space in this industry. Another competitor to Theta that we're on is AIOZ.tube. You can watch our videos on there, and you can actually get paid to watch videos on there. So agreed. I mean, this whole space of content delivery networks, which is what you're referring to as in Theta, is a huge growth area in this market. There are a lot of different types of CDNs, content delivery networks, that you should pay attention to. Not just Theta, right? There's the Brave browser, which is We've had a whole show about the Brave browser before, and it's changing the way ad delivery and data tracking on basic search engines is being used. So that's key in this area. BitTorrent. I mean, you have to have been born under a rock if you don't know what BitTorrent is. They have about 3.5% of all internet traffic, and now they're decentralized. They were put on the Tron network, right? So yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Theta is awesome. Theta is growing. Definitely a project to keep an eye on. But that whole industry segment, the whole decentralized content delivery network segment of the blockchain industry is just exploding as well. Mike?
Well, and the big thing that sent them soaring recently was that they had locked up a couple U.S. patents for a decentralized data delivery system. And also they secured partnerships with Lionsgate and Sony Pictures. They have investments from Google. So yes, they're a decentralized YouTube, but they have backing from Google. I think that there's one company that's going to understand that technology constantly moves forward. It's going to be Google. And I think they understand that, we're already like semi-decentralized with the internet. And this is just creating value on the internet. And before, we had no way to create value. So what was happening is that you have Facebook, right? But you don't get paid for using Facebook because there was no way to exchange value. And with these trustless systems on internet, I guess 2.0, right? Or web 2.0, we didn't have a system of value exchange. And it's still, getting through those legal barriers and, having wallet support, all these things that need to be there. This space is entirely different than it was in 2017. We were talking about doing a sort of Airbnb on the blockchain, but there's just so many projects back in 2017 that just didn't have anything to show for it.
Right. I'm going to get to some more of our calls here, but keep them coming in. I'm trying to get to as many as possible. And definitely, if you're talking about what we're talking about, I'm going to keep playing your messages. If you're on point, and if you're definitely a longtime listener of ours, I'm definitely going to try and prioritize you as well. So, Andrew, what's on your mind?
I don't know whether you didn't get my message before. The coin I was talking about was XRP.
Oh, God.
Ruining everything at the moment for you. And my thoughts were that Bitcoin, I thought it was struggling. I thought the milestone was breaking through to 60. It went through that and then got a little bit of a correction. But I think now where it is at the moment, I don't think it's going to drop below 60. Not soon, anyway.
Right.
Maybe wrong, obviously. But it's good. Binance Coin, Ethereum, and BNB, I think. You just put all your money into all of them. And you won't go wrong.
Look, I got a new thing, and I don't know if Noah's on board with this, but we had people that come in our show, and we got one dude, I credit to him because he makes our show really entertaining on his own. But we got a lot of people coming and talk about XRP. And let me tell you a thing or two about XRP. You guys ready for this?
Oh man, I mean, yeah. Look,
okay, okay. No, you know what's coming, right?
I mean, I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole.
Here we go. You're always creeping. It's gonna find you. Centralizing. You're always creeping. Don't you close your eyes. Man. They'll find you in the middle of the night and ask you why you're not invested in XRP. a supposed currency that's supposed to be used for banking that's not even stable.
All right, lower the music. Lower the music.
Good job.
You can't tell.
Look,
not a fan of XRP.
If you're going to come in here and start XR creeping, I'm going to play this track. And now, I'm sorry if the audio quality was bad. We're going to improve that in future shows. But if you come in here and start XR creeping, I'm going to play the XR creep song. So,
and I mean, Mike, there's a lot of reasons why we don't like XRP, but one of the main reasons why we don't like XRP, find the utility of its token.
It's not even that we don't like it. It's that nobody in blockchain likes it because it doesn't solve any problems. And look, they have no partnerships. They canceled their partnership with MoneyGram, which is supposed to be their biggest, addition of people using the XRP liquid asset, whatever. So,
yeah, don't take our advice, but don't buy.
Look, I think and Noah knows this because he's started making moves in this area. But middle market DeFi, how about we talk about middle market DeFi and why that is actually better than anything that XRP has to offer? And let me say something about XRP before I turn it over to Noah. The CTO of XRP was on CoinDesk show. Go and watch the interview with him. And they asked him, so how is it that you ended up with more than 50% of the XRP in the Ripple Labs? And he said, well, so a lot of the early users were Ripple Labs. Bro, you're making excuses. You didn't distribute the token to people that were in the community that were outside of Ripple Labs. So you distributed the token to the company itself. So don't come in here XR creeping. Thank you, Noah.
Mike, I think I'm not sure. I don't know this listener. I think it might be one of our first times listening to our show, and I'm gonna play his messages right now. I think that he is gonna differ with you on XRP. So Elvis, I'm legitimately I'm actually interested. Like I've asked people about this that own XRP. So if Elvis, hold on. Let's get to it for the listeners. So on the XRP ledger, they're going to be using a separate currency. They're not going to be using XRP because it's not stable. So they're using a separate currency to start with. And I said, okay, so if the banks aren't actually using it, then why do I care about XRP? And no one's been able to answer that question for me. So if you have some answer as to why I should care about XRP, I don't even know. Play the track. Elvis, this is your chance right here, Elvis.
Look.
Here it goes. Okay. No, hold on, Mike.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You might want to look into that no partnership again because if people think we're going to do central banking systems, they're crazy because they're not going to let that happen. It's already teamed up with all the central banks.
Dog, what are you doing?
Currency guys, don't miss out.
We know that,
but stay woke. Your XR creeping. We're gonna find you. Decentralized.
Oh man, ridiculous.
Don't you close your eyes, baby. Not for one moment.
Let's get back to
creeps are gonna show up real quick.
Let's get back to some of our serious discussions off of XRP. We could do a whole show.
You're gonna come in here and talk about. You're gonna come in here and talk about China and green emissions, and then you got the central banking system that's buying oil derivatives and all types of garbage and making speculative assets. Don't even come in here and tell me that the central banking system is super green and they're trying to save the. Get out of here, dude! You're XR creeping.
Elvis, I will give you a chance to respond, but you're sending a lot of messages in right now. I can't get to all of them, but I will give you a chance to respond.
Look, I just want to say something. No, I think we just hit a little pain point here. I think we really touched on something.
Hold on, let me get to some of these calls. They're piling up. Mike, what's up?
I think that BNB jumped up crazy because people still confuse coin ownership kind of with shareholder ownership. It's not the same. Now, BNB is one of the best altcoins out there, I think. One of the few I actually understand that they make sense. But that increase of price, I think they saw, Coinbase is 100 billion. Let's shoot the BNB to 70 billion. It's still cheaper. And BNB is bigger than Coinbase, which it is, but it's crazy because you're not owning the company if you own BNB. And I think that's going to come back end badly for some of these investors. And I think if Coinbase goes flat, the altcoins will tank. Bitcoin, the moment Bitcoin tanks, I don't know, below maybe 50K, you're going to have so many institutional investors that are just waiting for a dip to jump in. So Bitcoin won't be affected by the whole Coinbase and all.
I like his point of view. Actually, I kind of agree with him to an extent. You know that. Yeah, I understand what he's saying.
It's a different market, and also like I had posed this to you, Noah, that Bitcoin is just the amount of volume is like 60 billion per day, and the Coinbase IPO, the whole total liquidity that they have is 60 something billion. So I mean, when you just look at how, when you just, still, it's, I mean, you're talking, even if it's 100 billion, you're still talking about 10%. And that's 2 days worth of Bitcoin volume.
Right. Let me get to some more of these here. I'm sure we're going to have some responses on XRP. Let's hear it.
Yo. What's happening, lads? How you doing? Mr. Crypto Nomad. How you doing, mate? And is it Alpha Kai? Hello, mate. How you doing? Yeah, man. Crypto Nomad and Alpha Kai. I've been tuning into your shows now and again, You guys talk a lot of sense, man. I appreciate it. Obviously, there's a lot of crypto talk out there in the world. And I sort of don't speak on crypto too much. I sort of do my own thing with it. But, yeah, man. Appreciate the content. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Peace and love.
Yeah, thank you. Both Mike and I are putting a lot of work into the research that we do, and it's not just the research for the show, right? The show is only like I'd say 10% of the research that we're doing. We try and keep it, for beginners and newbies. We do get into DeFi sometimes, which can be kind of confusing for beginners in this space. But the majority of our research that we do is on our Discord, where we get into it, and Mike gets really deep on some of the research he's doing. And he's going to start creating a new channel on our Discord that's really just for ICOs, new projects, new opportunities that we're getting into as a company. We have a shared wallet, and we are starting to invest with our shared wallet into projects. So, yeah, thank you for. And we're
gonna make that shared wallet completely public, so everybody can see exactly what's in it, what we're holding. I don't know that we're going to be doing super risky investments with that because, to some extent that's our budget. So, it might be a little silly to take on some crazy risk with that. But I think it's going to be really interesting for our listeners to, kind of see what we're doing on the back end.
Absolutely. Crypto philosopher, what's up?
I've got limited experience with Ripple in the real world. But I come from a professional background of financial plumbing and real-time gross settlement systems, and basically I have a broad understanding of how the financial markets plug together on a technical level today. So what XRP can do is also a question that has not been answered for me. No one has been able to answer that question, including people from Ripple who I've met and spoken to myself. That being said, why people may be interested in XRP is because people who are not as familiar with crypto as maybe some people in this group will be exposed to XRP purely because of the amount of money they have and the amount of resources they have. If you go to banking conferences and roadshows anywhere in the world, Ripple are going to be splashing big money at booths and advertising and just being up in your face and brands.
Yeah.
Look, I think they're going to end up, because they already have this reputation within the blockchain community as being the guy at the party that nobody wants to be there, but they just kind of have to deal with them anyways. So I'm not enthused about XRP.
But look, he's talking about FOMO, right? He's talking about these newbies, and this is like a dangerous trap that a lot of beginners in this market are going to find themselves in, right? They read the Reddit, they read Twitter, they get excited about this whole marketing aspect behind XRP, and they're like, "Oh, XRP is going to go to the moon. I got to buy XRP," and it's all just a joke, in my opinion.
Well, there is, and I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your kind of place and where you fall within this kind of with the whole financial services world. Sorry, I totally blanked on what I was going to say. Take it over, Noah.
Yeah, let's go to a few calls. Braden, what's on your mind? I'm sure it's going to be XRP related.
I just want to say, keep up the good work, and yeah, goodbye.
Appreciate that.
Wow. Nice,
yeah, man,
nice. Thank you,
100%. Yo, I'll tell you what. Let me know what the Discord name is. I'll definitely join the Discord server for sure. Because yeah, the research side of it is just like, you know. Yeah, I don't need to tell you guys. It's pretty endless, and I've been like on it all week. I just invested in a coin this week called Chain Games. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. You probably have, but that's one of the new coins that I've invested in this week that I feel pretty good about. But yeah, man, the research is endless. But yeah, I'll definitely join the Discord. I probably wouldn't. I mean, I appreciate the transparency you guys want to have with the shared wallet and everything, but I probably wouldn't show the quantity of everything that you're holding. Maybe just show like the coins that you're holding, just because I feel like there's a lot of scammers and there's a lot of bullshit out there. And if people have your wallet address, I guess the wallet address can't do anything, but you don't want to be targeted by any of that shit, because that's a big thing right now. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys again.
Yeah, and actually, Mike, a few things he was saying, Mike. One is that research is endless. We know that all too well. I mean, every time we go down one hole, it's like there's 10 more sub holes off of that we are just diving into. I can't even keep up with you, Mike, because
there is. But look, I think at the end of the day, and because the listener that had called in and said that he had met some of the Ripple Labs people, I think the problem for a lot of people is they haven't actually used it. And when you go and try to use it, that's when it kind of clicks with you. Like, honestly, I don't see XRP anywhere. Like, I'm all over DeFi. I've been on multiple chains, and I really don't see XRP anywhere. And that's why I have zero interest in it. It's 15,000 transactions per second. Solana is 65,000 transactions per second. Transaction fees are also very cheap. So essentially, you have this thing with Solana that people are actually building apps on. Another thing, Noah, because the CoinDesk interview, which if you guys are interested in Ripple or like understanding more about the current case and just everything about them, go and watch the CoinDesk interview. They asked them like, hey, can you wrap other assets like a Bitcoin or Ethereum? Like we've seen WBTC, if you guys don't know what that is, it's Bitcoin that has been wrapped for the Ethereum network. So it's, pegged 1-to-1 with, Bitcoin, but it's on the Ethereum network. And they asked him, hey, can you like wrap assets or anything like that? And they said, well, you'd have to have a third party to come and manage that. What does that sound like? It sounds like we know the term, Noah, non-custodial, right?
Yep.
That is custodial. XRP is a custodial system that involves use of a ledger, but you don't actually achieve, it's not even able to achieve the things it's trying to achieve. The asset is volatile and not stable, and so it cannot be used for these types of transfers. Now, let me say something. If the XRP was a stable coin, different conversation. What do you think, Noah? If XRP was a stable coin?
Yeah, I think it'd be a much different conversation. Honestly, I don't know even if it was a stable coin, where it would be in this marketplace. Like I like to look at I like to look at blockchain, the whole blockchain industry, and I like to break it out into industry segments, right? And I place these projects in different industry segments. And we've covered this in the past on the way I divide this market. I mean, other people can divide it other ways, but the way I think of it in my head is, from the bottom up, right? We have the whole BaaS, the blockchain as a service. We have that whole blockchain interoperability section, right? There's different projects within that. Then there's the token-to-token collateralized DeFi. There's decentralized content delivery networks, and there's decentralized applications. You're talking to me, Mike, about a centralized product, a centralized organization. I don't see where that falls into this categories of the whole blockchain space. Maybe I just don't see it. Maybe someone can explain to me why this should be considered even a top. I think it's in the top 20 cryptocurrencies. I don't see it. I don't understand why.
Your XRP?
Yeah,
I know it's number 4, right?
Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe
Look,
crypto philosopher.
Noah and I have talked about this in private, and I have used the words dumpster fire associated with XRP, and I'm not afraid to go public about that. I think that there's just so much competition. I know that they've been working on this for a long time. I know that they have. He talked about he said something that they were doing in 2012 that no one else was doing. And like, look, I think that they didn't have a fair launch. Okay, they didn't distribute the token to the community that was using XRP.
There's no governance. There's no community governance.
Right. That was a look. I just think they misstepped with the token distribution and not making it a stable coin because they wanted to enrich themselves. I mean, can you really argue against that? Like they made it an asset which originally trading for less than 1 cent, and now it's over $1. They enriched themselves. That's what they did.
Yeah, Alpha Key. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm not bullish on XRP, but I have XRP. I've made good money from XRP, and I'm selling while the going's good. But I think XRP will continue to go up and down. And I mean, I'm not a day trader. I'm more a swing trader. But there's definitely money to be made right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I've been saying this before, right? Like the analysis and the research that we're doing is separate from price action analysis.
Yes.
Right. You can look at a chart and you can look at the supply and the demand based on what the market out there, the whole speculative market of especially like beginners in this space who don't really understand it that well. You can place your investments based on the speculative marketplace. And that's exactly why I think people are making money and losing money necessarily with XRP. It's not because it has a real value in this place. It's just because it has so much speculation. People are driving up the price by buying it. And then, of course, like you said, the big holders of XRP, as soon as that price hits a nice profit for them, they're going to dump on you. So, you know.
And in regards to XRP, I would love someone to tell me exactly why it's going to be, the fucking biggest thing ever to hit the crypto world. At some point in time, I'd like that to be explained to me also.
Yeah, look, we're not saying you can't make money off of XRP. You can make money off of anything if you can just do some smart technical analysis and look at the charts and find the right entry points and the right exit points. You can make money off of anything. But we're looking at these tokens as utility in the industry as a whole, and we just don't see it with XRP.
Look, I think there is 2017 FOMO back. Seriously. And it's not going to crash the whole market this time because some coins are understood by institutional smart money, and they'll control a lot and they will buy the dips. Other stuff will crash badly. And XRP, I think a lot of people buy because it's cheap per coin. And you got to understand, when somebody has $1,000 or $2,000 to invest, they rather own 2,000 pieces of shit than 0.1 pieces of diamonds. And that's just a psychological thing. And, it's partially why poor people will stay poor.
Yeah. Wow. 100%. And
I love that analysis right there.
If there's anything we can do for this community, it's at least talk about the big projects and the sort of movements that we see happening, like for example with Binance Coin. And I'm just telling you, this is not even it's my opinion, that's fine. But there's nothing exciting happening with XRP. You cannot wrap tokens on it like you can with pretty much every other blockchain. You could do it with Solana, you could do it with Ethereum, you could do it with pretty much every blockchain outside of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's meant for a store of value. It's not meant for building stuff on top of. So that's why we've got Ethereum, right? That was the next evolution. And we have, like yield farming and, loans, right? You can take out a collateral token. None of that is happening with XRP. XRP is a total snooze fest. Watching the CTO do an interview, it was just like, okay, what are you guys doing that's interesting? And he's like, he doesn't have anything to say. They've done nothing interesting. They're trying to sell fool's gold. There's nothing unique or interesting about XRP.
2009, I could not agree with you more. Very, very wise words. Meanwhile, guys, thanks a lot for having me on the channel. Good to meet you. We'll drop them from time to time again, and hope to talk to you guys again soon. Peace and love.
Hey, thank you very much for joining.
Good stuff.
I think we all gained a little bit of information here, got educated a little bit with Crypto Philosophers calls. So we really appreciate you being here. Looking forward to having you and partaking in future conversations. We do this show daily, and it's been going well. We try and do it in the mornings, and it starts off our day of trading. Sometimes we give recommendations on what I'm actually doing, what positions Mike's actually taking in the morning. And we get some great advice here from listeners. And, so far, Mike, a lot of our listeners have really surprised us in the level of knowledge they have in this industry. And we've gotten some people in the whole, music industry that has joined our show and dropped some knowledge on us. And it's great. If you want to join our Discord, please do. We would love to have, the better
listeners directly from Stereo. I've also been pulling people from Telegram, Noah, that are in these Telegram chats that I'm in. I'm really looking for smart people that understand this space or are trying to understand the space and have a long-term mindset. Not necessarily like, hey, what's the coin to buy, right? Because ultimately, it's everybody has to do their own research. We can try to point you guys in the right direction to get you started. But we certainly can't give you financial advice or tell you where to move your money and things like that.
The best place to get an invite is, because they don't have it on Stereo, a place for us to do that. Is just message one of us on our Instagram account.
Well, don't you have a link tree? I have a link tree on Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, you can click on the link tree, and there's the Discord invite in there. We also have it on YouTube. If you go and subscribe to our YouTube has been blowing up. We reached 100 subs yesterday, and now it's up to 150, I think, some odd number like that. And I think we're finally having real humans view our YouTube channel.
I mean, our videos are so niche, right? You have to really understand. You need a base level of understanding in this market before you start understanding what level 2 financing and DeFi is. But
I mean, you just gotta start listening to it and watching our videos. Like my mom's friend, I was having him watch one of the DeFi station video this morning, and because I just pull up the chart and I say, hey, well, if the TVL starts going down, you want to exit at least the platform token. And he was like, wow, this looks really professional. So, kudos to, Noah. I make the videos, and then I hand them off to Noah. He does a little bit of editing, and then he hands it off to our guy, Dwayne, that does the animations and everything. So if you guys like the new videos that are on there, definitely credit to Dwayne and clap it up for Dwayne.
Yeah, definitely. Michael, you've dropped some knowledge on us this morning, so please keep it coming.
To make this conversation not just about XRP, a question from my end to you guys. I like Ethereum in general as a project, but as an investor long term, and that's me. I'm a guy I invest, and I look 5 years into the future, and that's what I care about, right? Or 10 years into the future. I have a worry with Ethereum that it's not finite, and that's almost nobody talks about this. Also on TV, whenever it's Ethereum, it's not finite. I mean, they can increase the supply. Ethereum is like the central banks. Or what am I missing? Maybe you guys can tell me something I don't know, and I buy some Ethereum tomorrow.
No, we're actually me. I can't really speak for Noah, but I think there's sort of my narrative that I've got is that there's a ticking clock on Ethereum, and people are starting to get frustrated. They had years to sort of solve these scalability issues, and they've got the backing of investors, most likely because the early investors got rewarded, and they're going and telling their friends to buy Ethereum because they're invested in it. That's how some sense how the space works. Like, oh, Coinbase is listing this. Okay, let's go buy Cardano. right? Like that's kind of how this works to some extent. So I've been playing around with Solana. I personally like Solana a lot. I think we're going to talk more about Solana on this show.
Mike,
look,
I think we should do a deep dive. We did a deep dive show on this past Sunday on the BTC ST token, which was you can buy a token that connects to connects to mining, and it's pegged to the hashing power. But I think we should do a deep dive on Solana. You've been doing a lot of research on it. It's a new blockchain primarily for, it has tools for investing, really in-depth tools for investing.
I'm gonna say something very bold about Solana. I think that it's more advanced than Ethereum. The tools are more advanced. It's more robust. There's a lot of people that have discussed moving or have moved their apps to Solana, and I started using it. I'm going to say this. I think it's a little more advanced. I don't use MetaMask on Solana. I've started using Math Wallet, which is multi-chain. You can also use Trust Wallet. I know a lot of people know Trust Wallet, but the transactions are fairly quick. I love the Explorer. I love, like, if you guys have used Etherscan and you can see all the transactions. I love the Solana interface. It's really nice. And the transaction fees are like 0.0000001, something like that. Crazy. I sent it to you. I sent it on Discord, and it's like 0.0000001. Is basically nothing. Like, and I think personally, I want to play around a lot more with Alogrand. I know they don't really have. I don't think they really have any DApps. But that's another one I'm interested in that has low transaction fees. Noah, I just don't know if the ecosystem is there for Algorand, but I definitely think that it's there for Solana. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly why. Sam Friedman, who owns FTX exchange, I think he's got like $10 billion of crypto. I saw that this morning because I was saying, oh, he's a crypto billionaire, but no, he's got like 10 plus billion in crypto, and very, very intelligent guy, very open. I really like listening to him talk, and he's got quite a bit of investment. He's got quite a bit of projects that he's building on Solana. And like, I almost feel guilty like telling people about this but I do think that Solana is fantastic. The only thing is, like, they don't have the DApps that Ethereum has, but we start to see that there can be competition with Ethereum. And like, if you think there's not a competition with Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain. That's all. That was the first movement in people moving from Ethereum because it's so similar. It is the same thing. It's like 95% the same code. And it's Binance Smart Chain is actually 13 times faster than Ethereum. Now,
but I just want to say this. I want to say this with Ethereum versus Binance, and I don't know much about Solana yet. I still need to do my research on Solana. But my interpretation of Ethereum is that they were the first place to go, right? That's why they have 95% of all decentralized applications on their blockchain to begin with. But as they grow and more competition enters this market, they're identifying as more of a B2B blockchain. And Binance Smart Chain is identifying more as a B2C network. So, I don't know what the future holds for Ethereum, but I imagine that we're going to see more institutions come on the Ethereum network and less individuals. There'll be less applications for the business to consumer market on the Ethereum network because those transaction fees are so high.
I just think that if you do not launch your app on Binance Smart Chain, you're losing out on a huge user base. And
if your application is business to consumer, if it's business to business, I don't know if you would be on Binance Smart Chain, right? So you have to choose. Basically, what I'm getting at is that each blockchain, and eventually they should all be connected.
Actually, you know what? I do think that you have a point there, and it's important to understand why ETH is ideal for B2B at this point in time, and it's because Binance technically owns Binance Smart Chain, so like there could be some regulatory issues there. So that I think is probably keeping the B2B transactions on Ethereum. But look, the gas costs are absurd. It's I mean $20 for a transaction. Hello?
Yeah.
If I'm transacting less than $2,000, then that's a big chunk.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, this has been fun. I'm gonna head off pretty soon, but definitely drop me the name of the Discord server, and I'll join that for sure. But yeah, man, shout out to you guys again. Great content, really enjoyable show, and yeah, keep up the good work.
Cool stuff, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. We got another call, Mike, here from XRP gang member, Burger Dog, aka the Elvis. I'm not going to play it just yet. I kind of want to go to Cecily first, who has been dropping knowledge on every one of our shows lately. So I really appreciate her being back on today's program. Cecily, what's up?
What are you guys' thoughts on the Flow blockchain?
That's a great question. Flow is killing it. I mean, we know of Flow because of Dapper Labs, right? And Dapper Labs is the inventors of CryptoKitties and the inventors of NBA Top Shots. And, Flow is an awesome, fast-growing blockchain, really focused in that NFT marketplace right now. I'll tell you my concern with Flow, and this is the same concern I had with Ethereum, what I just brought up, is that the applications that are being built on these networks, I feel like they need to help the current ecosystem that is on that network. What I mean is that if you're building an application, your application is like an exchange model, like a decentralized exchange, or if it's in DeFi, maybe you shouldn't be on the blockchain that is focused on NFTs. I understand by diversifying your applications on a blockchain, but if you're focused in a business to consumer market and you're building your application on a network that is largely for business to business market, it doesn't really help the ecosystem and the growth of that blockchain. And that's my concern with Flow, because I saw a new project on Flow, and I'm trying to bring it up, that it kind of didn't fit with the rest of the applications that were built on that network. So I was definitely concerned about where the direction of that network was going. But you're right. I mean, I think Flow is Flow is a blockchain as a service. You can build your applications off of it, and it's been doing great, largely because of that whole NBA Top Shots and Dapper Labs, which is almost a $3 billion company right now, focused in that whole NFT space. Mike, your thoughts on Flow?
If people transact on it, it's going to grow. It's that simple. And look, I don't know that like people actually interact with Flow like they do with Ethereum. Like I'm pretty sure it's going, like when you use NBA Top Shots, like it's doing everything behind the scenes to transact on Flow. And for that reason, it's great. Maybe your US dollars goes to purchase Flow. Yeah, I mean, it's a good project. I mean, it's doing well, and the sort of sports. There's no sports betting on Flow. I think I would like to see maybe something like that, but maybe their focus is specifically on just exchanging these NFTs, and they're focused on the sports market.
Yeah, and that's a huge market, right? I mean, it's just we're just seeing the sports market on the whole blockchain space, and it's just gonna explode because people love their sports. And we see that it didn't just stop with NBA Top Shots. I think the NHL came out with a similar NFT model on the Flow network, and we're just going to keep seeing this. So I think there's a lot of room for growth on the Flow network. But again, I just want to say that the applications that are built upon these networks, they contribute to the whole ecosystem of that network. And I would like to see more of the consistency and of the different type of applications on that network. And so that's
exact. Yeah. I think the exact same way as Noah, which is that you got to look at the DApp ecosystem, right? Like Mr. Massa talks about this all the time. The DApp, DApp ecosystem is very important because, again, it's about, getting those transactions. If you get those transactions, people are going to buy the token, right? Like Solana or some of these others. And the reason that I am, I think Solana will do well long term, but I just, in order for people to want to own the token, just like with ETH, there has to be dApps on there that appeal to a wide range of people. Right now, at least on Solana, it's just a lot of trading related stuff. And that's because the owner, exactly. It's and Noah, like for example, the Serum DEX, which again, that's by Sam Friedman of FTX. Serum. It was so. I was using it yesterday, and it was so confusing. Like, it's not like PancakeSwap where you just do a swap. It actually, it's like a stock exchange where you sell something and then it settles. And it like settles in your wallet, and then so like you have to do the swap, and then after that you click settle, and it's very confusing. Now again, I think it's just for advanced users.
But I like that, right? I like that because if you think about the applications that they're building off Solana, and you think about FTX is a advanced exchange, right?
Right.
If you're
they
a
have
beginner,
trading view plugins and that stuff.
Right.
And
so I see,
Noah,
I see consistency across the board. And that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking at, what kind of blockchain do I want to invest in? Do they have consistency across the board in decentralized applications? Or even, like you were saying, the one of the top developers in this, one of the main financiers of Solana also owns FTX. I like seeing this consistency across platforms.
Right.
And yeah, so I think that's very important when we take a step back and we say, okay, this is what this is focused in. I see it, I understand it, I can see the growth here. Now, if they're just throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks, I don't think that's a good business model. Yeah, I like the focused approach.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, and it's because there's so much competition in this space that you kind of have to focus on something and do something really well. If you spread yourself too thin, like a little too thin, and like when I started talking about Flow, I realized, that's not really Flow. Is just they're just trying to do like sports mostly, and these NFTs.
I think CryptoKitties on Flow. I believe it was.
No, it's on Ethereum. No, it's on
Ethereum. Oh, you're right.
It's by Dapper Labs, but they launched it on Ethereum because, of course, that was like the main.
Right.
The biggest audience was there on Ethereum back in 2016, 2017. But yeah, it's just to pay
Michael,
$20 for a transaction. No go.
Michael, what's up?
Yeah, but guys, this is not exactly, but this is kind of what I tried to say before with Ethereum having is not finite, and it cannot be. Yes, you gotta understand why central banks actually sometimes need to print money, because if they don't print money, then shit would very quickly become too expensive. I mean, imagine there would be finite amount of US dollars and just new products there is new products coming in and the money supply wouldn't go up. And that's Ethereum right now is caught in this. But you see, a lot of people that invest into Ethereum, they think like, oh, the blockchain is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is expensive. Ethereum will go up more. But the laws of Bitcoin apply to Ethereum. But it doesn't. Bitcoin is finite. Bitcoin doesn't try to be the network for everything, doesn't give a fuck. And actually, transactions expensive, not, who cares, Because it's another idea. But when you go with that into the Ethereum story, there's a problem. They need to print more coins. They need to increase the Ethereum gas.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think about that? I mean, they're two totally different blockchains, right? He's absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, look, the size of the transactions on Ethereum is multiple times that of Binance Smart Chain, and that's not a mistake. It's I call it the traffic ticket. If you're paying for a traffic ticket. But I still think that even people that have a ton of money, why would they want to pay? Okay, well, if it's 30 cents and Ethereum's $30, then it's what, 100 times? You're paying 100 times the amount in fees. I
again, I bring it down
for
to
like
Mike
yield farming.
It's down to the applications on that network. And if you're talking about businesses, right, you're talking about business to business applications, they're going to pay those higher fees.
Right. But, I think just for people that are smart, they're willing to sit on the sidelines and watch this, play out, because I don't know, it could to buy a token on Ethereum that, may not hold its value. I know that you can wrap stuff and transport it to other blockchains, but I would just be worried about, putting too much money into Ethereum specifically. I just think there's a lot better stuff, and people just have to start playing around.
Yeah, Flow's CryptoKitties, UFC just joined, Samsung, Warner Music Group, Dr. Seuss. I'm trying to remember them all.
That's an impressive bunch.
Yep.
That's an impressive bunch for the Flow network. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see the Flow network around for quite some time if that's the kind of partnerships they're working on.
CryptoKitties was December 2017. Actually, when that was, I think the peak selling of CryptoKitties was when the whole market started tanking.
Yeah, because NFTs are a very illiquid asset. It's hard to trade or get rid of. So, if people start experiencing losses because they're taking on too much risk, they start having to sell other stuff. Like this is what happens with big funds. Did you hear, Noah? There was some big chain reaction that happened in the stock market. I think it was like a month ago or something, and I forgot what they were like, Archegos, or I don't remember. That they started being really down their positions, and they started having to liquidate all this stuff. But they had both short and long positions, so they were like double losing. So crazy. But I think that's what happens is like people have these risky bets, and when they start losing in those risky bets, they need to liquidate their other stuff, and I think that just causes a chain reaction. Ball rolling down a hill.
I think it's a huge opportunity for a competitor to come in, solve this problem, offer it cheaper, and business will go away from Ethereum. And if Ethereum would be a business or a country for the sake of that, and look at that, say, oh, our currency is too high, that's why a business goes abroad. What do? We increase money supply, we print money, we weaken our currency. So you increase the Ethereum supply to drive down the price per Ethereum. But what does that do for all the investors? And most of people that buy Ethereum now, if they're not traders, they buy it because they want the price to go up, not for any other reason. So you see, there is a conflict here, and I think it will end bad.
Yes, I know Noah might be a little softer on it, but I do think that the clock is ticking for Ethereum, and they need to resolve their issues. They need to show that they're not rewarding all these, like the amount that miners get rewarded is pretty obscene right now. And when they tried to actually reduce that, the miners kind of fought back a little bit. So yeah, I mean, the miners are getting paid a lot. There's a lot of congestion. People are gonna. This is what's gonna happen. Is like Ethereum is gonna be used for have specific use cases, just like Flow has its use case, just like perhaps Solana or Kusama or whatever Algorand has its use case. You know why I've used Algorand? I use Algorand to transfer money to different wallets. So because the withdrawal fee is very low, so I bought some Alogrand on Crypto.com and I sent it over to other exchanges, and I then paid a very, very small transaction fee, like 1 cent or something like that. And so like there's going to be use cases for all these different cryptos. It's just, if you're talking about buying a crypto that's going to appreciate in value, you need to catch it when the train starts leaving the station. You don't want to be there and be sitting in the station. You want to get right on the train right when it's leaving the station. So that's why you got to watch all of these networks to see what they do. And I think we're going to close up the show here in about 5 minutes. So I know we have a lot of questions, but I think, Noah, we're going to probably see that trend continue where we get so many questions that we can't respond to all of them. And we will in the future prioritize people. So give us a follow, and that will enable us to prioritize you. If you follow us, we will bump you up higher in the queue. So
Definitely.
be sure to follow us.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, or interesting stories, get them in now as we are planning to close up our show in the next 5-10 minutes. Mike, I want to give you an update on a trade that we discussed this morning on our Discord. I told you that I had made a sizable investment into Bitcoin Cash this morning. I was looking at the charts, and I thought that this might be a good day trade, good swing trade. I'm currently up 5%, and I just took some profit, and I believe that Bitcoin Cash is another 5% to go. So I took 25% of my holdings profit. I have the other 75% take profit at about $798 for Bitcoin Cash. And I think we're going to see that.
Do they actually tell, like, in this signal channel, do they actually give you like stop loss and take profit levels?
They give you what they suggest as stop losses and take profit levels. Of course, you need to cross-reference that with the charts. You need to go do your own work on it. I wouldn't blindly just set these levels. You need to actually go look at the charts and see what's going on with it. You know, Bitcoin Cash has seen a steady increase over the past day since pretty much since yesterday. It's been jumping up following the rise of Bitcoin. So I think we're going to see I think we're going to continue to increase for the day. Not saying that if you didn't get in the investment when I got in earlier in the day, I don't know if now is the best time to get in it to get all the upside of this.
Right, the risk reward profile and that.
Right, but if you're following our Discord and you want to see some of the day trading that I'm doing, you know, this was one that I did this morning. It's paying off right now, and you know, I've had some good track records on day trading. Of course, not all investments are going to pay off, but with the volatility of this market, if you're patient, you'll probably be able to end up in the green.
Yeah. So good stuff. I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. If you do want to see that trading action, be sure to join our Discord, either by going to my Instagram and go to the link tree, and then you'll see the Discord invite there. Or you can go to our YouTube, and we also have the Discord link there as well.
Yeah.
So I think without further ado, let's play the outro. Unless you want to, we got a couple listeners: Raul, Mike, Larry Draw, Crypto Philosopher. We could play these few messages.
Well, they're all older messages. You know, we can leave off on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
We can let our XRP gang member make the last word here.
Elvis. No, man. No, man. Come on, cut him off. Cut him off. We got at some point we got to cut these dudes off talking about XRP. Come on, man.
All right, well, let's just play that outro music. Again, we appreciate you guys being here on Talk.Crypto. We do this show daily. Best place to reach out to us is on our Discord channel, where we are on it 24/7, doing our research, putting our research up there, telling you about the trades that we're taking in the crypto markets. And it's all about us making money together, building up this passive income stream. We're on 3 commas. We do bot trading. We do swing trading. But most importantly, we do research about the blockchain industry as a whole.
That's right.
We'll be back on the air.
We'll be closing up those free slots. So make sure to get in early and get that access. This is Talk.Crypto.
We'll be back on the air tomorrow morning, for another Talk.Crypto. We're going to talk price action. We're going to talk Bitcoin news. We appreciate all the listeners today. We had some great listeners, great callers today. Really pushing our conversation forward. That's what it's all about.
100%. We appreciate all the listeners submitting responses. Crypto Philosopher, We just found another oracle in the blockchain space.
Cecily, thanks for joining again. We appreciate your input. Absolutely.
Satoshi 2009. Satoshi 2009. Do you think Satoshi 2009 is the real Satoshi?
It has to be. It says it in his name.
We want to hear your thoughts. Is he the real Satoshi? Let's go.
Yeah, you definitely want to give some
live more from stereo.
Too much
this
posse. Thanks for joining the call.
This show's only going to get bigger. We're only going to increase the production quality. This is just the start.
Thanks for joining. Renee Moody, Out for Order. Thanks for coming back on our show. Kid Ozzy. Mike, I want to take this give the last word to Michael today. Let's give the last word to Michael.
That's the outro. Bro, we played the trumpets. That's the outro. It's over. It's over.
Done so, but he was talking.
Look.
Last
okay,
word.
I got you. No. I'm leaving. It's over. Join us on Discord. That's the real conversation. Go over there. If you send us 10 messages about XRP, we'd rather talk to you about it on Discord because that benefits our community. And we're all about benefiting our community. So if you want to be a part of that, join it. If you
Michael, we'll catch you tomorrow. Michael, we'll catch you tomorrow. Definitely join our chat. We appreciate you being here. This has been Talk.Crypto.
Yes, sir. Talk to us on the #1 station for crypto news. This has been Talk.Crypto.
Out.
Now get out of here.